Hi, beloveds. I just got off of a conversation with my friend Jane, who had some really great questions about the Akashic Records, why we might want to look in our records, what's it for, why do children create situations of abuse and things like that. They were wonderful questions. And so she's given me permission to send this out to everyone so that you can get some additional information too, because a lot of clarification came through. So I hope that you enjoy. My name is Tamala Malay, your empowerment partner, professor, and psychic. So let's get started.
Why is it important for someone to access their record? I did watch your YouTube video, found it very interesting, but like a double click into, what's the benefit of it? Like why should somebody want to do this?
That's a great question. So the Akashic Records, for the people who haven't seen the other video, they're basically the information superhighway, right? The internet of the fifth dimension, the spirit realm. Okay. And inside the fifth dimension is where information is. It's all about information, right? It's no longer about experience. Third dimension is experience, right? Fourth dimension is thought. And then emotion bridges the third and fourth. So that's how we move. Then the fifth dimension is all about information. And the Akashic Records are in the fifth dimension. And so your question is, why is it important for us to access our own records, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would we do that? What would be the point?
Yeah.
We can find out lots and lots of information in the records because our individual records hold every choice that we've ever made from the beginning of creation all the way until now. It stores our thoughts, emotions, our actions, the things we've done to block or restrict ourselves, the things that we've done to expand ourselves, who we were when we originated from source, right? What our gifts are, what I call them our superpowers, right? What are our superpowers? What do we do that makes us different from other people? How can we use that? How are we specifically designed to manifest? All of those things are available, including any blocks and restrictions to that. And so the modality that I use and that I teach and I certify people in is really very specific information that we look for, right? So if you come and you want a session and you're like, okay, I'm having some issues with, let's say they're relationship issues, right? I keep dating the same guy over and over again, or I keep having the same argument over and over again, or I keep getting triggered by the same thing, right? Pardon?
For me, it's work. I keep making the same work mistakes.
Yeah. Okay. So for work, then you would come and say, look, I'm having this issue. It keeps showing up. I've done everything I know to do, right? And it's just not resolving itself. So can we see if there's something, in the records about this? And then what I do is I log into the records. I have a list, about 6 pages of questions that I ask. And they'll be specifically in relation to your intention around work. So when I'm asking, are there any negative intentions around, right, this work issue? Negative intentions are the same thing as curses, right? Are there any, is there any past life information that will help us understand choices that you made in previous lives or in this life that has created the consequence that's showing up for you as these patterns in your work life? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so then what we do is we find out what was the root choice, right? Is it a root choice in this life? Or is it a root choice from 10 lifetimes ago or 20 lifetimes ago or more? And let's say it was 10 lifetimes ago. Then we would find out what that root choice was that you made, acknowledge it. Okay, here's the choice. This is when this started. I don't want that in my experience anymore. Okay, I'm ready to conclude that. I'm ready to resolve that. I'm ready for that to be over. Then we're able to actually clear that. And then the clearing actually moves through into your present life. So those consequences that you've been having up until now are not going to continue to show up for you because we cleared out the root cause. Now, the next step in that, you actually have homework that you do. You read a particular set of intentions, basically, every day for 21 days that helps you reprogram your thoughts and your emotions around that particular choice, right? You're unchoosing that choice.
So is that like affirmations?
Pardon?
Would it be like affirmations?
It's like affirmations.
Okay.
But there are things like, I hereby request, right? That I clear whatever, right?
Okay,
They're specifically worded to clear each particular type of issue that you may have. Okay, so they're going to be a little different depending on what it is that comes up, because there's like 28 or 30 different things that could come up in a first session.
Okay.
There's more than that in subsequent sessions. But the idea about why it's supportive is you can clear out things that are blocking you, right? That are showing up negatively for you right now. You also can go back to and identify who you were when you originated from source and discover what your gifts are. Reconnect to those gifts. Like for me, I'm divine truth and divine self-expression. That's my soul purpose. And so every decision that I make about food, about relationships, about television, about my work, about my pricing, about what I teach, about friends I hang out with, right? Everything about my life has to align with divine truth and my divine self-expression. So literally, I'm asking myself when I'm making a decision, is this aligned for me? Is this aligned for me? My beloved and I there's a few television shows that we watch together. And the rest of them, there's stuff that he watches that's just not aligned for me. And I don't sit in that anymore, right? I used to sit with him while he watched it and just play on my Kindle or do something else. Now I don't even want it in my energy field because it's not aligned for me, right? It's kind of like getting cooties, right? Because things that are not aligned for us, like for me, an example of something that would not be aligned would be liars, right? Because I'm divine truth. Speaking lies would be violating both divine truth and divine self-expression. So if in this show, movie, relationship, work environment, intimate relationship, whatever, right? If someone is speaking lies, that is a complete violation of who I am at soul level. So I can't be in that because it's not supportive for me. It's actually disempowering for me.
Okay.
In a way that wouldn't necessarily be as disempowering for other people. And so that's why it gets really complicated when I'm talking to people kind of generically about their soul purpose, is because, I really want to talk to you about your soul purpose, not kind of in general, because what's true and appropriate and aligned for me is going to be very different than what's true and aligned for you. And so one of the aspects of this particular type of Akashic record work that I do is we go into that as well. So it's really kind of a full service. This is who I am. These are any blocks and restrictions I have to this of who I am. These are choices that I made that blocked me from who I am. And then we can clear all those out. And so then I can now move more into who I am. So did that explain that?
Yes, I think it did.